Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Armed and Styled and I make content about gun ownership and concealed carry. In today's video, I'm just going to quickly show you guys how I take apart my Glock 48 and do a really basic, super quick cleaning. So safety first, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure there's nothing in the chamber here visually, and I'm also going to touch it and make sure there's no mag in the gun. I also like to remove all ammunition from the room and loaded magazines just to be on the absolute safe side. Now that I know the gun is empty, I'm still going to continue to point it in a safe direction. This is where a lot of really bad accidents happen, where somebody is certain that their gun is empty and they decided not to point it in a safe direction anymore and pull the trigger as they were taking it apart, and sure enough, it was a loaded gun. So we're going to just treat it still as if it's loaded and keep it pointed in a safe direction as we take it apart, because we're going to have to pull the trigger to take the Glock apart. So how I like to do it is I like to take this part of my hand and place it up into the beaver tail of the gun and then wrap my pointer finger around and pull back just like this. And the same concept can work whether you have an optic or not. It's going to be a little bit easier with the optic there, but you can do the same thing without the optic there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull back, and at the same time I need to engage these little guys right here on both sides of the gun. As I'm pulling back, I'm going to engage both of these, pulling them down on both sides, and then let it slide forward. Safe direction again here, and pull the trigger. My slide's gonna come right off of there. This cleaning process that I'm doing here is just about as basic as it comes. I'm not doing a super in-depth cleaning. I'm just kind of wiping things down and making them oiled again so that we've got a good, well-oiled machine here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the spring out and the barrel out and get to wiping all of this down. And you want to wipe down the entire surface on the inside of here. Pretty much anything that you can reach, you're going to want to wipe down. Here I'm just using a old white t-shirt that, was dingy and was no longer being used, and that seems to work really well. And my husband goes through enough t-shirts that I have plenty of perfect little white cloths to use anytime I need to clean my guns. I'm also just going to lightly wipe down the spring here. I'm not going to do anything else to it besides just wipe it down. Now I'm going to wipe down the inside of the frame, and the areas that I like to focus on is pretty much everywhere, but it gets pretty dirty on these little metal parts here and down a little bit more into the mag well and just right back here. When we used to shoot lead bullets, I had to use this much more coarse tool to actually clean out the inside of my barrel. But now that we're shooting full metal jackets, it's not really an issue, and I can just use this snake right here. I do like to use this head here to run through my actual barrel with these little cloths. I just feel like it gets it even more clean and does the job of the snake just about the same. But if you don't have a snake and you have this as an option, this is what I like to use. And now that it's all wiped down and clean, I'm just going to make sure that it has plenty of oil. I like to put oil just right here and here and then let it drip down, as well as right here and down a drop, just right there. And then on the frame of the gun, I put a little bit of oil right here and just a tiny little bit right there. So one right here and just a tiny bit right there. And now I'm just going to put it all back together. You just take the smooth side of the top of the barrel and place that down. So this little jagged side is actually facing up. That'll go right down into place there. And then the spring. You don't want to just set the spring in like this. There's a tiny little groove you can see that you need to just barely pop it down into. And now that the slide is all put back together, we can just follow these grooves right here and line them up with these guys right here. And rack your slide. Also, don't forget to wash your hands after this. You've probably got some lead on your hands and you don't want to get any of that in your mouth or your eyes. So go wash your hands and you're good to go.